Hello and welcome back to another TEKDEP tutorial. My name is Nicholas and today we have a blast from the past, and by the past I mean 2012. Yes, we are going to do a full teardown on the MacBook Unibody from 2012. So this one is going to have not only a few things that you might remember like the disk tray or easily removable batteries, but also some other stuff that you might not have known that Apple did away with, which you may have hoped that they stuck around with. So definitely follow along the entire video or skip around to whatever repair that you are currently looking for on this specific MacBook. And we will have, of course, all the products with all the parts that we are going to show you how to repair in the link in the description. So feel free to take a look at those. But if it is something that you need, whether it's on this computer or another computer, maybe even data recovery, go ahead and check out our website down below. We have plenty of options for any kind of data recovery or mail-in repair needs. So definitely go there, fill out a form, and we can get back to you as soon as possible. But let's get started. Like every repair, MacBooks will always come with a few screws on the back, but in this case, it is not as hard to take off as the newer MacBooks. Newer MacBooks have clips on the sides that hold it down, which you need to get under with some kind of pry tool in order to take off. This MacBook, however, only has a couple of screws, and each screw, it's going to be a really tiny Phillips head screwdriver. They call it a Phillips head 00, and there are going to be 3 longer screws on top, and then the rest are all going to be the same size on the bottom. By longer screws, this is what I mean. So these ones will be directly into the top case, while the other ones will be along the outside. And these are the smaller screws, which are all along the outside. Once you have all those taken off, you can now simply just lift up the latch. The newer MacBooks don't have that, so it makes it incredibly easier to open up, especially for the novice or someone who may have touched a few different PC computers in the past. Makes it a lot easier. That's one thing that they did away with to make it a bit harder to change, and then for them to justify their insane prices. All right, now we will go ahead and take a look at the inside. So these old Unibody MacBooks, which you may have a lot of things that newer MacBooks don't. We can start off with the battery being a quick removal battery. So all you really need to do is just take off a few screws, undo the battery connection, and you can take off the battery within minutes. The newer MacBooks have an adhesive on the bottom, which in order to unplug the battery and take off, you have to get under it with some kind of pry tool, which can damage the battery and in some cases cause extra damage to your computer, which is something you don't want. Another way MacBook did it a little bit differently back then. They also have, of course, the old hard drive separate from the logic board. New logic boards have the RAM and the hard drives soldered on, which makes it a bit more difficult. If your RAM goes out, you are forced to purchase an entirely new logic board in those cases, which isn't very good, and especially as RAM prices get more expensive, so will these logic boards. But the first thing you want to do on any of these is going to take out the battery. The battery is going to have this piece right here, so which you're going to take out with a pry tool, and you're just going to get under this corner here with either your fingernail or a pry tool, and then pull up, and that will disconnect the battery so that now the computer is safe to work on. We'll go ahead and take out the battery just because that's the easiest to do. It is just going to be 1 screw over here on the right and 1 screw over here on the left. These ones are just going to be normal Phillips head screwdrivers. Sorry, I didn't even show you the screw on the right. So the screw on the right was right here, and then the screw on the left is going to be right here in this corner. And with that, you can just pull on the tab and remove the battery. If only all of the newer batteries were this simple, but unfortunately they are not. Now this would be where if you did have to do a battery replacement, which is pretty common in these old models, you would simply just put the battery back in, screw it down, and then re-plug in the battery connector. Next, another popular upgrade that a lot of people do on these models is to put in more RAM. The RAM is going to be right here. It has two little pull tabs, so it is rather easy to take out and re-put back in. You simply just grab on the right and the left. It'll pop up, and then you can pull out the RAM. And then again, one more time, it'll pop up. You have to do it again on the top one, and then you can just pull the RAM out. And then easy way to reinstall the RAM, simply just the same exact way, and then push down. A lot of people add up to about 16 gigabytes of RAM just because the older motherboards couldn't handle more. So keep that in mind if you are upgrading this specific model. Keep it to around 16 because unfortunately these motherboards don't support anything higher. Now, another very common upgrade is people like to take out the existing hard drive and they like to put in a new SSD. These SSDs are a lot faster. It'll help your boot times. It'll help your application run times. It'll help the longevity of your computer because it won't slow down so much to where it is unusable. If you want a specific tutorial on how to install a new Mac OS on a new SSD and transfer your data, we may have something like that in the future. So go ahead and click the subscribe button, turn on the notifications so you can stay up to date with that. And then that will hopefully be coming out within a couple of weeks. But if not, just go ahead and keep watching. Now, to take out the hard drive, it is just one singular flex cable, which is going to be right here. And you're going to get under it with your pry tool. Now we can move on to the hard drive. And the hard drive is going to have 4 screws, 2 on the top and 2 on the bottom. First, you'll take the 2 off the top, and then you can slide up the bracket that's holding it into place. And then you will take off the 2 screws that are holding down the flex cable. And with that, you can pick up the actual hard drive and undo the SATA connection from the hard drive and remove that. If you're doing a SSD install, you would not need to take off this flex cable, but because we are doing a full teardown, that is what we are going to do. So if you're doing an SSD install, you can leave this on here. But we're going to move on to these 2 screws. And we can take off the flex cable that is also connected to it and remove that as well. All right, next, we can probably move directly to the logic board. So this logic board is a little interesting because it is upside down. If you notice, we're actually looking at the back of the logic board. In a lot of cases, when you're taking out MacBook logic board, you're going to be looking directly at the top of it when you open it up. In this case, the way they did it around this time, probably for good reason, because you don't really want the chip being exposed directly as soon as you take it off of the backplate. It also is a bit better to contain water spills and other stuff like that. But in this case, we are seeing the back of it. So we're going to start with taking off the fans, and the fans are all T5 screws. And then move on to the right fan. And then grab your pry tool and go under the fan. Same with the other one. And now with that, we can move on to the various flex cables and other things that are plugged in directly to the logic board before we take it out. In this case, we'll start with the top right with the display connector. Down to the middle over here, this one little flex cable here. And then we'll take our Phillips head, to show the keyboard flex cable. Move over here to the speaker and the other 2 flex cables right next to it. And then this top one relating to the Bluetooth. And then right under this piece of tape, which yours may not have, is a tiny flex cable here. And it's one that is easy to forget. But with all of that being done, we can move on to the screws that are all around the unit. They are all going to be T5. You can see a few in the corner over here, another one on the bottom, and then a few on the top. So we'll go ahead and move around to those. Now we'll go ahead and remove the logic board very carefully as to not damage anything. And then while you are taking it out slowly, there is one last connection, which I'll show you here on the left cam. Right up here, you can see that there is a connection into the MagSafe charging connector, which you will have to gently remove while you are taking off your logic board. And there we go. With that, you have fully removed your logic board. A few other cool things to note is that one of the speakers is directly on top of the logic board, while the other one is over here. This does have the graphics card and CPU on the same heatsink. At the time, this wasn't a big deal because the processors were a lot smaller, so they didn't get as hot. Nowadays, the 2019 MacBooks, they use this same form of heatsink where they use them both on the same heatsink and didn't really give them separate ones, which is why the 2019 versions used to overheat so much. So that was another thing that Apple messed up on as well. But we'll go ahead and remove the speaker, which just has a Phillips screw, and you can slide it up very gently. Oh, sorry, 2 Phillips screws. I apologize. Then you can slide it up very gently and remove the 2 flex cables. And with that, you have removed the logic board from the unit. Another thing to note is that these logic boards don't have Touch ID sensors. So when you are taking them off, you do not have to grab the power cable either because they are not linked in such a way. In the newer MacBooks, you do have to keep them as a pair. So if you are changing the logic board on a newer MacBook, you would have to grab the Touch ID sensor, which is also the power button. In this case, you do not have to. Now we will move on to the MagSafe connector. Another very small part that a lot of people don't realize is so easy to fix. I know this is a rather long repair, but if you were to repair this yourself, all you would need to do is just remove the main logic board and the speakers, and then you could remove this MagSafe connector, which is actually a pretty quick fix. So if you do want to do something small like that, feel free to check out our website. We have all that down below. And then we will move on to the Bluetooth connector. And we'll get under these antennas, which are a lot more than just Bluetooth. This is going to be the full Wi-Fi and Bluetooth antennas, which are related to the display. So when these come off and you're doing a display replacement, you would undo these antennas before taking off the display. They can be a little tricky to undo, but that's only because you need to slide them out a bit. Then we will take out this small cable here as well. There we go. And this is the actual chip. So this handles all of the Bluetooth and Wi-Fi connectivity, while these antennas go to the display and then output the signal to catch your Wi-Fi or your Bluetooth devices. And then we can do the disc tray and the speaker. Take out the speaker with just 3 Phillips screws. Oh, actually, I apologize. We would actually need to take out the disc tray first. So we'll move on to the disc tray. This is T5. There's one T5 screw over here. and then one down here on the right, and one up here at the top. And with that, we can take out the fist tray. And this ancient piece of technology does break pretty often too. So this would be another thing that you could replace for a pretty cheap price as well. With that off, we can now remove the extra speaker part, which is also a Phillips head screwdriver. You may have to get under it with your pry tool. Free it up from the little amount of adhesive that it does have. Go. And then there are only a couple more things that can be removed if you do want to replace them. There is the trackpad, which is going to be down here on the top case, and then the display. So we'll move on to the display now. The display does have a couple of Phillips screws that you'll have to take off before. But this will remove the hinge protector and free up the hinge screws. Actually, torque 6 will do. And then we'll move to the other side. And same thing. After all of that is unscrewed, all you need to do is simply open the unit and then fold out the display. And there you go. You have fully removed your display from your 1269, which is also not a bad replacement to have on your back pocket, just in case something happens, because things do drop and things do break. But don't worry, we have the parts on our website as well. And last but not least, the trackpad and trackpad flex cable. Trackpad flex cable just kind of goes on the keyboard section, and then you can undo and get under the adhesive that is holding it down, and simply feed it through. And then with your screwdriver, it is only a couple of Phillips screws. And the trackpad will simply fall right out. And then you have separated it from your top case, which usually top cases for computers like these are sold in one full part. So that includes the keyboard and all the other functions that entails, including the backlight. But that's it. You've fully disassembled a 2012 A1286 MacBook Pro unibody with all of the old stuff that we know and love, and some stuff that Apple may have gotten rid of that we may want back. With that, all the parts that you saw in this will be listed in the description. So if there is a certain repair and you've skipped around and you want to make sure that you have it right, feel free to go down there and we will help you out on our website. Now, if you have gone through the whole video and there are a few things that you may not want to tackle on your own, feel free to go into the description on our website and find our mail-in repair section where you can go ahead and send it in to us and we will take care of all the headache for you. And if you made it to the end of this video and like what we're doing, feel free to leave us a like or subscribe, because a lot of you that watch our videos aren't really subscribed and it helps us out a lot. Now, with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. My name is Nicholas. Have a wonderful day.